Okay, good morning, everyone. It's a beautiful morning, about 50 some degrees in my backyard. Sit comfortably with your neck and spine erect, hands to the heart center in Anjali Mudra or Namaskar Mudra. And gently bring your attention to your thighs. And the moment you give them the attention, they will relax. Take away any excess tension, stress. Attention is like a flashlight that dispels darkness. And move upward to the pelvis. Scan that area with your attention. Move upward to the belly. Upward to the chest. And come to the shoulders. And from shoulders, come to the fingers, the fingertips, how they're touching each other. Just observe all that and move on to the next body part, to the wrist, to the palms, into the forearm, the upper arm. And from there, go up to the crown of the head. And start drawing circles from the crown of the head and descend down in every direction as though you're pouring water. You're doing a little abhishek to yourself. And let that water drip down to the back of the neck, to the forehead, to the ears, and to the eyebrows, to the eyelids, cheeks, nose, upper lip, jawbone, and to your chin, the lower lip, and the neck. And finally, let the tongue rest in the jaw, in your buccal cavity. Gently let it rest there. Push your sternum up. Open up the chest. And observe that the body is breathing all this while on its own accord. And we are now about to manipulate that natural process of breathing. And take a deep breath. And open your mouth and say, ah. Ah. Excuse me. Take another deep breath. Notice how when we make the primordial sound of ah, when we are saying ah, you may realize that the whole body below the navel kind of reverberates, vibrates. All those vibrations are below the navel. And as you close your mouth, the vibrations will start coming upward into the chest. And the moment you close your mouth for the vibrations are all over your head, all the way till the crown of the head. They will reverberate in the cranial region. And that's the beauty of this particular way of breathing and humming. So let's try one more time. Take a deep breath. Sarvepi sukhina santu, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kashid dukhamapnuyat. Om Sahana Vavatu, Sahana Bhunaktu, Sahaviryam Karvavahai, Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. And gently rub your palms. And cup your eyes. Okay. So today, the schedule is that we are going to do restorative poses, yin yoga poses. We're going to hold them longer, being the second last Sunday of the month. So we'll do some stretching just so that we don't pull ourselves, and we'll get into the poses. So last month, I think we just did about 3 or 4 poses throughout the 90-minute class. So we'll see today. We might do some supine poses. We will need a belt. I think belt is essential. If you don't have the Iyengar belt, any yoga belt that you might have, or even your waist belt for your trousers will work, because we're going to just make ring and hold it. Okay, so let's do that. Let's do some basic stretching so that we are. Clasp your hands, bring your toes together, inhale and come up. And connect your biceps to the earlobes. And exhale and come down again. And inhale and go up. And exhale and come down. One last time. Inhale and go up. Urdhva Baddha Ungli Urdhva. And open up your hands. Exhale. And give a big hug to that universe out there, to the infinity out there. And inhale and come up. Join your hands. And exhale and come down. Very good. Okay. Spread your legs a little bit. Put your arms out. And we do this every Sunday. Loosen up your body by twisting. So stretching followed by twisting. Okay, very good. Put your hands on the waist, feet about mat width apart, and then draw big hula hoop circles. And then go the other way. Very good. Stand erect, hands by the side, go up and exhale and come down. And inhale and come up. If you feel imbalanced a little bit, you can spread your feet apart, about hip width apart, and then go. Exhale as you go down. Inhale as you come up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale. Very good. Okay. And then put your hands on the waist again. And then we're going to do circles using the knees. Be careful, draw smaller circles here. If you feel any slightest of pain, reduce the diameter of the circle. And then go the other way. Okay, join your feet together, hold the patella, and then draw smaller circles again with the knees. And this is only trying to lubricate some of the joints, getting some of the blood circulation there, lymphatic fluids, whatever fluids are there that lubricates. And we don't have to go into technicality about that. And get a nice stretch, see if you can touch without bending your knees and come up. Okay, I think that should be good. So we're going to start with some forward bends. We don't need the belt, or we may need the blocks. So keep the blocks. If you have a chair, I would say use the chair. If you don't have a chair, that's also fine. Use any chair today. This is not a particular chair that we need for this today's exercises. So I'm just going to stand about 12 to 14 inches away from the wall. Okay, and I'm going to basically lean. So put your hands on the wall like this and start bending forward. Give support with your hand, and then see when your bummy touch the wall, you let go of the hands and put the hands on the backrest of the chair. Okay, so we are getting into basically what do you call that? Samakonasana. Okay, that we do the second pose of Surya Namaskar. While getting into the Surya Namaskar, we always pause here. So that's what we are doing, but today we are supporting it. Okay, and what that does, it relaxes the muscles and it gives a good stretch into your hamstrings. And then put your hands out as much as you can, get a nice stretch in your back, but observe that it is supported. Make sure it is supported properly. All right. You can clasp your hands, crisscross your knuckles, and then put your head down and let the head hang. And relax your thighs. Again, we will bring our attention to the toes.
Relax the toes, move upward, relax the ankles. Now here the relax is not a verb, it's not an action. Relax meaning you just give attention to that part of the body. And like I said earlier, the attention is the flashlight that dispels darkness. So any kind of stress that you might have in that part of the body is dispelled just by paying attention to it. Just we're seeking attention in the world. That attention is also sought after by the body. It needs attention, you know, and if you give attention, you pay attention to your body, it basically relaxes, it satisfies it gives a sense of purpose. And look at the toes and thank them for a minute here for keeping you balanced, allowing you to walk. And and then move upward to the ankle. Again, pay your gratitude to the ankle. Without that, you cannot walk. And you can't go to places without that. And feel the tingling sensations in that part of the body. This tingling sensation is happening because your hamstrings are being stretched and they are all connected from within. The hamstrings are connected all the way to the last pinky that you have. You may feel some tingling sensation there. So just observe all that. Give it attention, give it love, and just observe. Move up to your calf muscles, your shin bones, and thank your calves. The calves are your two hearts below that are responsible for pumping the lymphatic fluids in the body when you walk. And then move your hands and grab the back of the chair and go a little bit deeper. And then keep moving upward, come to the knees, give your gratitude to the knees, and put your head up. Hold your head up. And then gently, gently observe how the knees are a little bit in tension over there. So with one hand, see if you can move your patella. If the patella can move very easily, that means the knees are relaxed. Okay, that is the indication that the knees are relaxed here. So see if the patella are moving. The kneecaps, see if they're moving very gently. You can massage them here too. All right. So if they're moving, they are relaxed. There is no tension around the knees, which is great. So the attention that we're giving to all these body parts, observe. And wherever you're feeling more heat, okay, if you're feeling more heat here, through the center of the lips, just blow the candle and blow the candle as though your lips are at the most painful location. Plant your lips in the hamstrings and let that blowing of the candle happen from the hamstrings. Imagine that in the head, in the brain. And brain can simulate things. It is a very good simulator. And we take advantage of the simulation that happens in the brain. And it can almost get rid of all the tension out there in the hamstring. And suddenly you'll feel that the hamstrings are relaxed too, while they are being stretched. It's like, the boiling of the frog kind of exercise, if you know what I'm talking about. So you gently heat the water, so gently that the frog doesn't realize that it is being heated up, and he gets, acclimatized to the newer temperature by the minute, and it doesn't jump out of the water. So this is how gently we have to deal with the body so that it doesn't get into this reflex mode. So the hamstrings here We are heating the water slowly, 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 so that it doesn't, the entire reflex action is pacified, you know. And the way you do that is you focus on your breath. By focusing on the breath, it pacifies the reflex actions of the body. Okay, this is why yoga is to be done very gently. All right, so the muscles will then cooperate. Now you can see if you can rest both of your elbows on the chair. If you want to use the block, I think that's great. And see if we are trying to push the hamstrings more and more, more and more, and settle into that pose. Settle into it. Accept the reality here and now that the body is in this position. The mind is kind of on the verge of trying to pull the body out. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you try to swim, you don't know how to swim. We are into the shallow part of the water, of the pool, and then gently, as you walk towards the deeper part, the mind starts getting nervous and nervous, slowly, 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 and it starts to get raising all kinds of alarm bells. So what we are doing here is we are keeping the mind quiet, keeping the body from not rebouncing, from not getting that alarm system completely awakened. And we are gently taking 1 inch at a time. So here now we can see if you want to take the blocks out and see if you want to put your elbows onto. So we are heating up the water slowly, slowly, slowly. You will feel more and more tension developing at the back part. So if that's bothering you, you can put your hands on the wall or on your back like this and stay there. So with the yogic exercises with the body, we are trying to develop a coping mechanism. That's what yoga does. It develops a coping mechanism at the physical level to endure. And that endurance kind of seeps into the mind eventually. This is what the sports do, right? The extreme sports, the guys who climb El Capitan, right? Just imagine how much mental strength you need to climb that. That's because they somehow figure out a coping mechanism to not panic, and slowly, slowly, one step at a time, they keep on climbing, and staying mentally strong. And yoga kind of does the similar thing. It develops a coping mechanism to endure pain. And that pain can be physical, that pain can be mental, it's all psychosomatic at some level. And yes, there is pain. Yes, there is stress in the hamstrings. And they're probably now telling you to back off. And right at that point, you don't pay attention to the mind. You are just a silent observer of the mind. And you look at it and say, all right, let the mind and the body do what they need to do. I'm just going to observe. And then we can observe the breath. Now put your hands onto almost at the ankle. And let your hands slowly, slowly, slowly slide down. And keep moving your attention from the tip of the fingers of the toes to the back and all the way to the crown of the head, and then come back out again all the way to the toes. Keep your attention oscillating from the tip of your big toe to the crown of the head. Keep scanning the body. And wherever you find more tension, more heat, you stay there for a minute. You stay there for a few more seconds. And then it will dispel the darkness over there. The darkness here is, is a term I'm using for stress. Okay, and gently put your head down and see if you can grab your toes or put your hands by the side and look at your own knee. And it's okay if you cannot be here. You can always take the support of your of the seat of the chair or whatever you're using. If you don't have the chair, you can use the blocks and put them by the side like this and support. The more you will support, the more the body is going to trust you. Right now, the body is skeptical. Okay. Why is it skeptical? Because we're trying to push it to the limits of its flexibility, and everybody's flexibility is different. So wherever your limit might be, at that point, you just take a halt and use the blocks to support and tuck your head down and see if you can push your chin against the chest. And you will notice immediately there is more subtle muscles in the back are getting pulled, meaning not pulled, not in a bad sense. They're being stretched. So if your muscles are getting pulled, please don't hesitate to back off. Okay, and back off a little bit more if you're feeling that. If not, let it all go. You can drop the block to the next level down and see if you can rest your entire palm on the block like this. Wonderful. After a while, what happens is the body and the mind, they accept the reality as it is. They stop rebelling. They stop raising all the alarm bells. And they'll probably even, the mind even starts enjoying this pain that is pleasurable. It derives I would not say it's a masochist kind of pain, pleasure kind of deal. It's about being acceptance, being accept in the mode of acceptance. Your body will start cooperating better. Your mind will stop rebelling, and whenever you push it to the limit and back off, you push it to the limit and back off, push it to the limit and back off, and you stay there. Put both of your forearms on the chair and completely tuck your head under. And to come back out, put your hands on the chair and start pushing with your hands gently. Gently, 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 gently. Okay, very good. And then put it on the back of the chair where we began and be here. It's like a scuba diver that goes to the deep sea and then it comes up every 30, 40 feet and acclimatizes there. And then it comes up again another 50 feet and acclimatizes there. This is how gently you need to come out of the thing. So use the back of the, and then push yourself up and come to a standing position. Okay. So this is how gently we need to do these exercises. And what this is going to do throughout the day, you're going to feel your hamstrings a little bit that you've worked them, but it's okay. I think that pain is part of the tapa, the penance. The yogi goes through the penance of pain. Okay, so now I think we're done with this guy. So now we're going to do just sit on the chair for a minute. If you don't have a chair, you can do this against the wall, so you're supporting yourself. So I would sit on the chair, put the chair on the mat so it doesn't slip away. This can be a little bit challenging, so put your feet out, your left foot out, and make sure you get nice 90 degrees here. And then make sure you loosen the leg a little bit. It is, the blood circulation needs to come back on. We kind of pushed it. And you know how we sit cross-legged like this sometimes? We are visiting a friend, we sit on the couch and we put it like this. Most people they'll stack up the knees on top of each other. But right now what we're going to do is we're going to take the ankle and put it on top of the knee. Okay? Now hold the chair, the seat on which you're sitting. Pull this leg a little bit back so that the shin is 90 degrees, and then move to the edge of the chair. Adjust yourself. Don't lose that 90 degree over here. Okay? And we're going to go down. Keep adjusting the leg as you go down, go down, go down, and be here. Take support of the chair at the mid back. And this is a hip opening exercise. It will open up your hip very nicely. You'll start feeling the tension over there. And if you feel uncomfortable with your shoulders, you can hold the bar of the chair at the back, okay? And just sit there. And see if your heel of the left leg can touch your butt. This is a wonderful hip opening exercise. You can lean back on the chair like this so that the mid back is not rounding off. This is very essential because if you start rounding off the back, it defeats the purpose of stretching. All right. So you want to keep this all nicely engaged. Make sure that, and wherever you might be, if you need a block to sit on, you can sit on the block if you like. If you cannot completely get into this position, that's also okay. All right, do what you can, just observe that you're pushing the mind, you're pushing the body. Now, again, pushing sounds like a verb, like an action, but it's really not that, okay? There is really, because you don't want to use the mind to push itself, because then it's going to cheat on you, all right? Because the mind will say, okay, I'm the pusher, and I know how much to push and how much to stop and where to stop, you know what I mean? So that intelligence will take over. So what we're trying to do here is we're using the observation technique. You observe the mind and the body in this position here and now. Just observe as though you are detached. Do it as though you're doing it, but in reality, we are not doing it, right? So if you take it from the position that you are neither the mind, neither the body, you are just that consciousness, that awareness beyond. And so come up a little bit, push with your hands. This will take you to a deeper position a little bit. Push and just observe. and then let your head fall down. Okay, very good. And then take your leg off, hold the back of the chair, and come up to the seated position again. Okay, so we will do the left side now. So put your ankle. So you will notice that because of my knee injury here, you will notice that this thing is more slanted. So the left side is going to be more challenging for me as opposed to the right side. I'm a little bit more deeper here. All right, so it's okay. I mean, everybody's body is different, and we're going to take that, make sure this is at 90 degrees, and then come to the edge of the chair and walk your feet when you come to the edge of the chair, and then come down. See how far you can go. And get that seat. Now, if you don't have the chair, you can use the bed as well. All right. I use the bed sometimes to do these things. So I don't have the chair all the time. So it's okay. And then sit here, sit here, sit here. This is going to open up your chest too. It's a good exercise for your shoulders as your body weight is going down. And here we go. And observe the mind and the body from within. And then gently hold the bar and come down. And then move back. Bend backwards using the chair. And then straighten yourself again. And then sit here. And some of these exercises or these poses can be easily done, when you're sitting leisurely in your living room, your family room. Keep one chair down there. I always keep a couple of blocks on the floor. When they're on the floor, they invite me to sit on them, so that you avoid sitting on the couch. The couch is one of the worst things that you can do to your body, unless you have a really well balanced, well properly designed couch. That's a whole different story. But couches typically are not very good on your back. So let's do this. Be here and now and bring a nice smile. At the peak of the pain, bring that beautiful smile on your face. Smile. Okay? All right. And then push with your forearms and tuck your head. This is a nice hip opener. And push yourself forward. Forward. Hold the chair. Now this becomes suddenly a balancing pose because now you're on the ball of your foot. Okay, there's an asana like this where you can come to the Namaskara Mudra. If you want to do that, I welcome you to do it. If not, take your foot out and sit in a squatted pose. Put your hands at the back. Come to the chair. Make sure you're nicely touching the chair and sit in a squatted pose with your back straight. Growing up in India, this squatting pose is very, very, very easy because everybody uses this, there are no commodes, so we are used to sitting like this. But over the time, living in the West, you kind of lose that ability. So that's another thing I try to do every day when I get out of my bed. I roll out and I sit like this against my bed. And that develops some level of flexibility. And then you might be able to even sit like this, lean forward, raise your heels a little bit. If you don't want to raise the heels, that's fine. and then come to this Namaskar Mudra. Put your hands between this. All right. So your your elbows are inside the knees, and then put the Namaskar Mudra, and then push the knees away. Push the knees away. That's another hip opening exercise. So we are going to focus on the hip a little bit today in the supine position as well, to do some hip opening. Last time we did, the balasana, while while bending forward. I also call it sometimes the uttana. Let me see, what's the name of that? I forget right now. Adho Mukha Vajrasan. Adho Mukha Vajrasan. So what you do is you sit in the Vajrasan and you completely bend forward, and then you spread your knees apart like this, right? We did that last time. So this is another, Adho Mukha Virasana is also another exercise that you can do. Virasana and Vajrasana are very, very similar to each other. So push, 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 and see if you can push. Keep the heels of your palm together and feel the tension developing in the inside parts of your groin area, because those tendons are getting pulled right now. All right. Stay here. Very good. There you go. And then come back to the chair. Hold the chair and sit. Okay. I'm going to put the chair away. We're going to use, today we are focusing on hip and forward bends. So take a block and sit on the block. I always advocate using the block, mainly because the gravity helps you there. And tuck your heel against the perineum and let this foot go in that direction as far as you can. So open this up as much as you can. All right. Put this foot out there with this leg going in that direction. So bring your foot centered on the mat with this thing going backward, backward, and backward, so that now what's happening is the toe is aligned with the center of the body. Okay. So this leg moves back. If you see that the toe is not aligned, that means you're still not in the position. So if you want to twist here like this a little bit and get your toe centered all the way along like that, and then take a belt. You may want to loop it like this, or if you want to hold it, that whatever works for you, and then put the belt on the ball of the foot, not at the center of the foot, but at the ball of the foot like this. And then grab it and keep your back straight. Grab it and keep your back straight. Now you can use normal waist belt. There's nothing special about this belt for this particular exercise. If you don't have the belt, this is how you can do it. And you hold it. Make sure that this leg doesn't get lifted up like this. It stays grounded, firm. Make sure your connection with the perineum and the heel is there. And then you start pulling it, and you hold it there like that. Now, typically I like to do is I want to have a outward rotation of the hand, not an inward rotation. So what I do is I put my hands from under here like this, from under the belt like that, and then I hold it like this. So there is an outward rotation of the hand. Okay. All right, there you go. Hold it. Make sure your the bigger toe is still on the center of your body, and you start pulling, pulling, pulling. keep moving forward as you, and you, some of you are more flexible than I am, so you can even hold the big toe like this. But whatever you do, make sure your back is straight. All right, straight meaning it's angled, not straight like this, but it's angled and it's not doing that. All right, it's always straight and you're bending so that you're then pulling the hamstring, stretching the hamstring out. I'm just using the word pulling. Sorry about that. So, anyways, you don't want to pull any muscles, guys. You want to stretch them. Okay, so stay here, be comfortable, boil that frog, slowly, slowly heat up the water and look up. Now, the another technique I use, to bring your attention to your breath, I do some conscious hard breaths, meaning like you do the ujjayi breathing, like you constrict your epiglottis and you take a epiglottis constricted friction breath in and a friction breath out. So you may hear yourself breathing hard but deep, very deep, as deep as you can, and then releasing slowly, slowly, slowly. So you take that kind of pranakarsan kriya kind of breathing that we do, and you focus. And then the idea is that you take away your mind from from this rebellious mode. The mind is trying to rebel against what the body is doing right now. It wants to get you out of there and that's okay, because you're naturally, we are trained to sort of, the mind takes care of the body takes care of the mind, stuff like that. So, and they both influence each other. So what in yoga, what we do is through the body, we are reaching the mind. Okay. That's the way the whole engineering of yoga is designed. It's through the body, we reach the mind, through the mind, we reach the soul at the back. All right. So it's a reverse journey. So as you notice, when we are upset, the breath goes up and down, right? You start breathing harder and harder. So why use the breath? Because when you control the breath, you're controlling the mind. When you control the mind, you're controlling the body. So right now, we are using the body to calm the mind and to calm the breath at the same time. So it's all kind of a circle. They kind of, all three of them sort of look at each other. What is the other doing? What is the body doing? The breath will respond. What is the mind doing? The breath will respond. So the converse is also true. If you control the breath, then the mind responds to that. If you are calm with your breathing, then the mind says, okay, everything is okay. There's nothing, go back to bed. You hear some sound in the night and you get up and you check your house. Everything was fine. It was just something that was hallucinating. So, and then you go back to bed. Something similar is happening with the mind right now when you calm the breath out, because breath is one thing that we have a voluntary control over. And if you leave the breath, then it goes back to the involuntary side. So this is why the yogis were so smart back in the thousands of years ago. They figured this out, that, okay, if I control the breath, the mind is controlled, and the body cooperates, the mind is okay. If the mind is okay, the breath is okay. So you're going back and forth in these oscillations. All right. So understand this very well, because once you have this understanding of what exactly we are doing, and we're not just blindly following some guy who is out there on the computer, then it's easy to sort of internalize this, and then you will come up with your own ways of doing the swadhyay. Swadhyay means understanding of the self. Swa adhyay, you're studying yourself, using the self to study the self. So that's what we're doing. All right, so now you can slowly grab the toes and leave the belt and see if you can completely grab it and pull. Very good. And when you're comfortable, tuck your head in. And come up. Okay. And we got to balance the body out. So take your left foot out now and see that the toe is aligned with the center of your heart, of your chest. Keep the heel inside and push this guy outward. Okay. And push it and twist it. You align yourself. Make sure the shoulders, the chest are all facing in that direction. Okay. Take the belt, adjust your foot, and then put the belt on the ball of the ball of your foot. And then with the belt, with the outward rotation, hold it, make the body straight up. So right now, my chest, I'm pushing my sternum towards the computer. So I'm pushing it, I'm making sure I'm straight so that the body is straight right now. It is perpendicular to the thing because I'm holding this belt and I'm doing that. There you go. Once you hold it like this and you're comfortable here, and give instruction to this part of the thigh and all of that to just relax. Put them to bed, okay? Let it relax on that side. And then you walk one fist at a time, okay? One fist at a time. So if you're here, you grab it, and then you grab with the other one in front of it, like this. And then do an outward rotation. And then pull. Now what I'm doing from the straight back, I'm just gently bending forward without rounding the back off. Okay, that's very important. If you round the back off, basically what happens is you're not stretching the hamstrings enough. You're not working on your pelvis region. You know, all those muscles down there along the waist here are not getting stretched along the pelvis. They're not getting stretched. The hamstrings are not stretched enough if you round the back off. So on the contrary, what I would say is, see if you can get a reverse curve to the back. So not just keeping it straight, but see if you can, look at my hand. I'm stretching it backward like this. So to do that, you have to look up. When you look up, the back tends to bend backward. And then you walk slowly, 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 one fist at a time towards the big toe. And again, acclimatize yourself. Every time you take one fist forward, stay there, focus on your breath with the hard breathing that we described. And tell the mind body mechanism that everything is fine, go to bed again. Everything is fine, go to bed again. And then we acclimatize yourself to the new temperature of the water, new temperature. The frog is being a cold-blooded amphibian, it gets used to the new temperatures. And those new temperatures, we heat up. As we feel comfortable, we heat up by moving another fist upward, another fist towards the big toe, and acclimatize yourself. Here again, get used to that pain until the point that you start enjoying that pain. Get used to it. Get used to it. Use the center of the lips if you need to use your breathing. Blow from the center of the lips in a controlled fashion that you're not extinguishing the candle. And see if you can grab the toe. And the moment you've grabbed the toe, you reached your destination. And the body is like, okay, I think we made it till here. And then once you're here, Let go of the belt and then grab it with both the hands. And now tuck your head in between. Make sure the back is not rounded off. And to come back of this position, put your hand on the ground and push, gently come back. All right, make sure you're not making any jerky moves. Okay, now doing some hip opening exercises in the supine pose now. So I hope we are all gonna be able to sleep. So what I'm gonna do is, because I need a little bit of more space here, I'm gonna pull the mat towards the, and put this computer down a little bit so you guys can see. Okay. Now I'm going to put my head towards the computer. There you go. And then sleep. I hope everybody can see me. There you go. Perfect. Okay. Now I'm going to do some hip openers here as well. So bend your left foot. This is very similar to what we did earlier, sitting in the chair. And then keep the right foot on top, like this. And then in the West, they call it weave the needle. So you take the right hand and put it inside. This is a Pavan Muktasan series, by the way. Pavan Muktasan, releasing the wind. So I'm grabbing with my both hands, I'm crisscrossing, clasping the hands on my knee, and then I'm pulling it towards me. The advantage of doing this is that your back always stays straight. Okay. So, and it releases the stress out of the back. And as with the hands, basically you're pulling, pulling, and pulling towards you, and the back stays straight. Pull. Gently, very gently, come to a point where the pain is pleasurable and stop. Get acclimatized in that position while holding the tension. Get acclimatized. Focus on your breath. Take deep, controlled breaths. Deep. Deep inhalation, controlled exhalation with the epiglottis constricted. So you should be able to hear that friction. And after a few breaths, you pull a little bit harder and see if you can bring it closer and closer. This is another hip opener, guys. So very, very wonderful exercise. It's again through the Bihar School of Yoga. This is the series of Pavan Muktasan. And again, some of these exercises you can do anytime, anywhere.
but you don't want to have full tummy and doing it at the same time. So it doesn't necessarily, though, need an empty stomach unless you're going to the extreme. So this should be able to, you should be able to do that while watching TV or listening to music. Take your time with the body and the mind. Give them all the attention that they need, all the love that they need. Okay. And now take the thread out of the needle and then put it from the outside and see if you can go deeper. See if you can bring it to the deeper position. And release. Wonderful. Okay, so now while we are at this, I'm going to say, take your foot and tuck it under the calf muscle. Okay, so what I did, I just went under the calf muscle. So my toe is under the calf muscle right here. Okay, and then once you engaged, then you pull the left knee towards you. You see how this is engaged? I hope you all can see it. Okay, and then you go on the side, spread your arms, and then let it just go in that direction. Let it just fall. Let the gravity take care of itself. Okay, there's no need to push or pull. Let the gravity, the weight of the legs itself is going to pull this downward. So you're going to get a nice twist. All the left side of the body is getting twisted and stretched. And let it be there. Close your eyes and focus on your breathing. Make sure there is no acute pain anywhere. If there is any kind of acute pain, you need to back off. And you will realize that the body is inching away. Slowly, 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 the gravity is pulling it. The body is succumbing to the gravity. And instruct the body to relax. Again, instruction is not an action. It is just giving attention to that particular part of the body where there is maximum pain. And you focus on your breath, look at that particular part of the body, and it will relax on its own accord. Relax your right thigh. That right thigh is going to drag your left. So how is this exercise is helping us? It helps us to do the Ardha Machindrasan, Vakrasan. When you're seated position and then this leg has to bend this way. And that's what this is doing. It's increasing the lateral twisting, ability of the body. So that's what it is doing. And relax. Relax your shoulders. Relax. Keep reminding the body to relax. And gently start pulling it backward. Back to where we started. Untuck your toe from the back side of the shin on the left and put it to the right. And we'll balance the body out. So we'll put this ankle on the right knee, left ankle on the right knee, and then bring your leg towards you. And then we'll weave the needle again. So grab the right knee, clasp your hands on the right knee and pull. And again, I'm not exerting any pressure here. I'm just basically holding my fingers tight, and that's it. And then automatically it is going to exert pressure because the hands will pull that thing towards you so that the left side of the hip is being opened up. These are all wonderful hip opening exercises. And they help you with the Padmasana. They help you with the Baddha Konasana, Supta Baddha Konasana, many versions of hip exercises, Mandukasana, Balasana. They'll help you with all of that. Gomukhasana. So, several. Keep exerting very gentle but continuous pressure on the right knee. And it is bringing the left leg centimeter by centimeter towards you. You must be realizing it. You will realize the left butt is being stretched. And relax your tummy. Don't tighten your tummy. Relax it. Keep it soft. Keep the tummy soft. Let the breathing be normal here. If you want to do the hard breathing, that's also fine. If you want to keep it normal breathing, that's also fine. The hard breathing, what it does, it only distracts the mind, but it also gives you enough oxygen. You hyperventilate your body a little bit because it's burning. It's burning all that energy. It needs, you need that oxygen for the fire, right? So there you go. Keep holding that. Take deep and long breaths, long exhalation, deep inhalation. As you exhale, relax your tummy. Your tummy should not be tight here. Always pay attention to your tummy in these kind of poses, that it should be relaxed. Your belly breathing should, when you leave the breath normal, your belly should go up and down, the belly button should go up and down. And pull, pull, pull. Now, keep holding that, unweave the needle and hold it from the outside. And we are heating up the water a little bit more. You'll feel even more tension in your left hamstring, in your quads, in your glutes, in your abductors, adductors. Every one of them is under tension right now. But keep your tummy soft. Make space for the left thigh to come in. Keep your tummy soft, the thigh will move in a little bit deeper. And gently let it go. Relax. Okay, now straighten your feet out. Relax. That was nice.
Very good stretch. Now take your belt again. And I have a little loop like this in the belt. I always keep it like this. Most of the time I use it. And now weave your right foot. Now this time, bring the belt towards the heel. It is much deeper. So if you want to put it in the arch of the foot, that's also fine. And with this loop, you can adjust it, pull that belt a little bit, and then grab it this way. Grab it outward. So there's an outward rotation of the hand. And then pull the leg up. Make sure that leg at the back is firmly grounded on the mat. It's not moving. And keep this guy 90 degrees up. If you're not 90 degrees, that's also fine. Now I'm moving the belt to the ball of the foot. And it's going to, what it's going to do is going to extend like this so that the hamstrings are extended. Okay. And then to open the hips up, I'm going to let this whole thing fall to the right. So gently fall to the right and make sure your elbow touches the ground first. Keep going, keep going, keep going as much as you can. Make sure the left foot doesn't move. And I'm almost there, almost there. And okay, so now when the elbow touches, I am in plan view, I'm at 90 degrees like this, but my foot is still hanging up there, and that's okay. Now the gravity will take care of the rest. Okay, so keep holding it tight with your right hand and observe how the gravity is pulling the right leg down, down, down. You may come to a point where it could get excruciating. If that is the case, you stop it there. And it doesn't matter if it touches the ground or not. It's okay. I mean, we are all in this, our own journey. However, nature has made us accept it. Because you couldn't have been otherwise in any different way than what you are right now. Okay, we are the products of the nature. And that's exactly how the nature wanted you to be. And that's exactly how you are. So accept that. There is nothing to feel ashamed about or being embarrassed about. I wish I was here. I wish I was there. I wish this was doing this. None of that thinking is really helping, because that is the way the mind complains, and it's always then goes into the future. And in the future, it seeks. In the seeking, there is stress. The moment you start seeking, you are away from the center. And center is where the peace is. Center is where there is equanimity, there is equilibrium, there is complete silence, complete peace. And the seeking is the one that actually distracts us. It actually derails the train. You start going outward towards the periphery from the center of the circle to seek something. The moment you are on the periphery, you are not on the center. So bring yourself back to the center by just realizing that you're seeking. That's all needs to happen. There is no action on our part needs to happen. It's only that momentary realization that the mind is seeking. The moment we realize the mind is seeking, it comes back to the center.
This is a wonderful hip opener. And give some love and attention to your left leg too, because that is kind of freaking out on the other side right now. And see if you want to let go slowly, slowly the belt. Hold on to it, but just reduce the tension in your elbow and see if the right leg wants to rest on the ground. If it doesn't, it's okay. Okay. And to come out of this, let the belt go, let the belt go, and let the belt go, and let the leg rest. And then lift it up and put it where it was. There you go. So this is the gentle way of releasing that, because it could pull some of your muscles because they have been pushed to their limits. So you need to support them. Okay. So now we got a balance on the left side. And this is another thing you can use. You can put the block on the left or right side and let the leg rest on it. And when the leg rests on it, it basically feels comfortable. It starts trusting you more and more and more. And then it will relax. It'll just let go all the tension. Okay. So let's do the left side now. You will feel that the left side is maybe tighter than the right, or if you're balanced on both sides, that's great. If not, okay. So now I'm going to hold and pull the leg towards me, and make sure you instruct the right leg this time to just relax. So hold it and pull towards you. So now the leg is 90 degrees. And if it's not, it's okay. We said earlier on, accept the reality as it is, because we are exactly the way the nature wants us to be. Exactly where the nature wants us to be. The universe has its own intelligence, and the reason why we are here, it is all decided by that intelligence. So your body is exactly in the time and space phenomena where it needs to be. Think about that. The earth is exactly where it needs to be at this point in time. It is moving around the sun. It is not doing anything else. And it's exactly situated perfectly where it needs to be. So if the whole earth is being governed by the cosmic law, what makes us think that the body is not? Our own body is where in time and space exactly where it needs to be. It couldn't be anywhere else. So just find yourself in that position and just accept that reality and let that leg fall on the left side. Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. And rest your elbow down. Make sure your right leg is where it needs to be, on the ground, and let the gravity take over. The entire physicality is the time-space phenomena. It's the duality, as they call it in Vedanta. Advaita Vedanta is a non-dualistic thinking, non-dualistic way of explaining the construct of the universe. And the physics is getting there slowly, slowly. It is catching up to the Advaita Vedanta. The quantum physics has already agreed on a lot of the concepts. of the concepts of the Vedanta. So accept the reality as it is here and now. The body is in motion. The body is doing exactly what the nature wants it to do. And relax your elbow a little bit and see if the leg wants to fall on its own. Free fall. Yet it is controlled by the belt. You're harnessing that wild horse. And make sure that your hip is firmly grounded on the mat. And let it go. Acclimatize, acclimatize, acclimatize. Get used to the pain, pleasurable pain, and accept that. The yogi burns in the fire of the pain. And that fire, if the gold is afraid of the fire, it will never be pure. The gold has to go through the fire. The yogi goes through the fire of the pain and purifies the body, purifies the mind. We psychologically grow. We put ourselves purposely in the difficult situations so that when we are in the difficult situations in real life out there, in the workplaces, on the road, wherever it might be, whenever we are challenged, we take those challenges in the stride. We acclimatize to the challenge and move on. And this is where this yin yoga, some of these poses become sort of mental than physical. It is testing the endurance of the mind. See how far the mind can be pushed. How far can you expand that envelope of acceptance? And to come back out, fold your leg a little bit and let it come back. And you put it where it was and relax. And we'll relax here and end the session today. All this while, for the 90 minutes, we have been meditating, if you realized it. We have been in every pose. We tried to find that calm. We tried to find that stillness. And that stillness is not just dead. It's not just this dark. It is potent. It is aware of itself. Self-awareness, see? It sounds kind of counterintuitive. It sounds like, how can we be self-aware? But the awareness is aware of itself. The self is aware of itself. It is potent, it is active, it is active in the sense it is full of energy, it is full of this constant energy that is flowing out, and it energizes the body, energizes the universe, energizes the sun, energizes the earth. Everything in the time-space phenomena is dependent on that circle, on that center. Just yesterday, I posted a video of the scale of the universe. It starts from the planet Mercury and goes all the way to the black hole. And you will realize that we are not even the speck of a speck. And it helps in the dissolution of the ego. Meditate over that. Bring your attention to the belly button. Natural breath, unmanipulated breath, natural. Just observe the belly button going up and down, up and down. When we leave the breath alone, it goes back to its original state, natural state, organic state of being. Focus on the gap between the two breaths. The body inhales, and before it exhales, there's a fraction of a second, there's a pause. And then it exhales, and before it inhales again, there is that minute gap of time. That subtle gap is the crack to go beyond the time-space phenomena. That crack is given to us by the nature. It's like a key. And if you find that key and you gain control over that key, you may be able to go beyond the time-space phenomena. And this is where the yoga helps to relax so that the breathing becomes slower and slower, shallower and shallower, subtler and subtler. So that if you start realizing that there is that gap there, put one hand on your tummy, on your belly button, and put the other hand on your heart. And inspect your own body, how the breath has become subtle, how the heart has come to its normalcy, its natural state. Observe how subtle the breath has become. You may even notice that the body doesn't breathe sometimes. And that is the indicator that the gap between the two breaths has widened. That is the opportunity to jump into that void. That is the opportunity of the yogi presented to him. This is the reward. Don't miss out on that reward. When we jump into that abyss, we go beyond the thoughts. The moment there is no thought, we are beyond the matrix of time-space phenomena. The time and the space, they are the X and the Y of the matrix. And we just made a hole. We just made a black hole in that matrix. Yes, it can be scary. Yes, it can be nervous. It will make you nervous. But don't be afraid. That is the Krish. That is the black hole inside all of us. And that is the true Krishna. Krish and Krishna. The word Krish is black. It also means attraction. The black hole has tremendous gravity that pulls everything, even the light cannot escape. And these are all the indications that the light doesn't escape because light is part of the time-space phenomena. If you read Einstein, and we are beyond the time-space phenomena. We are even on the other side of that black hole. Take note of how the body is breathing. Just be, not be silent, just be. And that be is the silence itself. You are that silence. Realize this fact that you are that silence. This is the true shavasan. You're not breathing, but you're aware. You're shallow breathing with huge gaps between the inhalation and the exhalation. You're fully aware. the awareness that silence can be deafening, that awareness can be overwhelming. We realize that the body is alive. It is throbbing. Every cell of the body is throbbing. It is in cosmic dance around that black hole, just like a galaxy has a black hole in the center. And the entire galaxy is moving around that calm center. Similarly, the entire body is dancing around that calm center. That is the true nature of our existence. To bring yourself back, deploy some hard breathing again. Take a few deep breaths. Take your left arm or the right arm, extend it above the head, and take your right leg and fold it, or the left leg and fold it, depending on the dexterity of your body, dexterosity of the body. If you're left-handed, turn to the right. If you're right-handed, turn to the left. And push with your hand and gently come up. Do not do any kind of jerky movements because you're returning back from that black hole. Sit comfortably. Take a deep breath. Join your palms to the heart center. Keep your neck and spine erect. Excuse me. Yogena chittasya padena vacham malam sharirasya cha vaidikena yopakarottam pravaram muninam patanjalim pranjaliranatosmi abahu purushakaram Shankha Chakra Siddharinam Sahasrara Shirasam Shvetam Pranamami Patanjalim Hari Om. Rub your palms and cup your eyes and look deep into that black hole. Thank you guys for taking the time.
Thank you, Amaji.
Thank you, Abhijit.
Thank you. You're welcome.